Welcome to another video. Today we're gonna be doing like the basics of focus trees because I don't want to get into making GFX because it's just a tiny bit more complex than just making the focus, but I will show like how to make the focus tree, some completion rewards and all that stuff. And we're gonna go off of our country we already made, but I'll quickly show you how to make a mod if you haven't done that already. But I recommend watching the first video of how to make a country first, if it's gonna be a custom countries. Alright, so basically, the first thing you want to do to make a mod is go to all installed mods, click upload mod, create a mod, name the mod. This and this would be the same thing probably. Version 1, so like this. It doesn't need to be the same thing. Alternate history and then create, and then the mod's made. And then to find it, you probably won't have all these, but to find it, you would go to wherever the mod is. Mine's right here. You would click these three dots, show in folder. You probably won't have this error because it will be up to date, but I'll show you how to update the mod later. Alright, so now that we have our mod made, you won't have anything in here. You'll need to make a common folder. And in this common folder, depending on if you're making a country, you won't have these if you're not. But if not, we're just going to make a folder called national focus. _focus. And now we're going to go to Steam, right click our game on the side, manage, and browse local files. Open their main folder. We're going to use this as a template. We're going to go common. We're going to go national focus. And I'm going to use Canada because that's the easiest one. Alright, and we go back to this folder, and then national focus, we're going to paste Canada, and I'm going to rename it to whatever country I want, if it doesn't already have one. Dynelberg is my custom country, so we're going to use that. Now we got focus tree ID. This is the ID of the focus tree. It's like separates it from all the other focus trees. So I'm going to do Dynelberg, make sure this is not capitalized. If it's capitalized, it won't work, because that's just how it works. Next, this says DLC together for victory. This just means like if you have this DLC, it will put this focus on. We're not using DLC, so we're gonna delete that. And actually, I'm gonna open this in Visual Studio Code real fast. Open with Visual Studio Code. There we go. So now I can like see where these brackets end. Alright, the add, this is only important if you're making more than one country. It's like a 10%, but right now it's 100%, I believe. Tag, this is the country tag of what country gets it. So what country gets the focus. We want DBG, my country's custom tag, Dynelberg. And we don't need this. This is like a note for a different thing. Default, this is if it's a default country. Focus tree, sorry. A default country focus tree, which this is not. This is for one country. And here's a template for a focus thing. We're going to delete it because I'm just going to use the one underneath right here. Now, before I do this and I use this, I want to grab this. I'm not going to pronounce it because I know I'll pronounce it wrong. And I'm just going to paste this. We'll do under X and Y. So we'll go right here. I'm going to note it out so it's not there. And this is for later, of course. Just grabbing it ahead of time. And then we're also going to grab exclude, I believe. Let me see if I can find one. Mutual exclusion is the name. We'll search it. So we'll grab this. And yes, again, we're going to be using these later. That's why I'm grabbing them now. And then I'm going to bring it to the top with my template that I'm using. So I'll put it right here. There we go. Alright, now, right after this focus ends, so right here, it ends, we're going to go right to, so line 58, at least for me. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and click Shift, click, and then delete. And then of course, I actually deleted the extra one, so you just add a, there you go. Alright, now, we're going to bring this up. We got our focus. Technically, it will work in game, but we're not done. So, what we want to do is, we're not going to change the XY yet, but we're going to change the ID. And this ID is going to be dbg underscore politics 1. We'll just do politics. And has completed. We don't need this because, yeah. So factor 3, AI will do this. I don't think we actually need the modifier since we just deleted that. So AI will do 24% chance of doing this. 24 out of 100, I believe it is. Cancel if invalid. So I'm not sure what these first two mean, but I'm assuming it's if you go under the limited requirement to do it, it cancels it. And then available if capitulated, so if your country gets taken over and you lose all your land, you can still do it. We're going to leave that on because that's helpful. And this is going to give us 120 political power. And we're just going to leave it like that. And then we're going to launch it so you can see what this would look like in game. This is, so how many days it will take. So 7 days is 1. 14 days is 2, etc. Just times by, you add 7. So times by 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. Yeah. And so this is 70 days, so we'll just do 1. Alright, and now if we launch our game, make sure the mod's on right here. If we launch our game, we should have the focus tree if I saved it. I saved it right, yeah. So we're going to launch real fast. basically what we're gonna do is replace add political power with set political, I believe. Set politics, I mean, equals, and then the squiggly bracket, and then we're gonna do ruling underscore party equals, and then the party, and since it's already this, we're fascist, we're gonna do communism, and then yeah, that should be all we need to do. We don't need to add no elections, but we can. So now if we save it, communists become the ruling party, so we do this real fast. So yeah, we can't do this right now. If we wait a second, now if we do this, see how we're fascists. Our leader, I don't know if he'll still be our leader because he's not, yeah. So now this is our leader, and we're communist, as you can see. We've done all of our focuses, and every time you update this, this will reset. And if you close the match and then try to load a new game, it will crash your game because you updated the focus, so you need to relog your game. So until you're ready to relog, I wouldn't recommend closing. Alright, and then we're gonna do another one, so we can do mutually. So we're gonna, again, same steps, like so. And we're gonna go ideology D, so democratic. This one, we're gonna open this and paste ideology in here. Mutually exclude ideology. And we're gonna move the X over 3. And then for this one, we're gonna open mutually and paste the other ID, which is ideology D, the new one we just made. And we're gonna do democratic. I think is it democratic or democracy? I think it's democratic. So if I save, now there's 2. I mean, I put that a little too far away. So we're gonna move this to a 2, like so. There we go. So now, if I do this, and since I'm already communist, we're gonna go democratic. And so if I do this now, and I open this, I can't do this one. And I should be democratic unless I typed that wrong. Yep, democratic. There we go. Alright. So that's the basics. Now, I will show, would take over Canada over fast. So I can show you how to, alright. I'm going to show you Civil War. Because, yeah. And we'll do fascism. So, in our focus right now, we have these. I'm going to keep these ones. I'm just going to add another. Focus. And this one is going to be, we're going to get rid of mutual. So I'm just going to delete it since we already have it a few times. Or we're going to delete both of these actually. Although you could do a lot of things with like, you know, yeah, that makes sense. 5 and 0. So now if we check, yeah, it puts it right here. And we should change the ID to dbg underscore war civil war. Alright. And the completion reward will be the start of a civil war. Oops. Make sure you don't accidentally delete extra. A start of a civil war. So for this, you'll do start underscore civil underscore war, and then I think ideology. Nope. Ideology equals communism. We'll do. And size equals 0.5. 0.5. I believe this is correct. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, okay. So the communist supporters start a civil war, and become the ruling party. So there's many ways to do this, but we're gonna have a civil war now. But we don't have any troops, I just realized, so it might just transfer over. We'll quickly make a troop. Actually, I think I'll be fine. I'm not sure. Yeah. So now we got a civil war. I did 0.5, so that's 50%, but apparently it did more. We're playing as the Democratic, so we're playing as this one. And this is the one that started the civil war on us. And again, if it was just one area, I think it would just annex us and turn it into the Civil War one. That's why I took over Canada to test this, because it spreads it out more, as you can see. So, if you have more than one, you know, maybe I'll demonstrate that by adding, but yeah. So, here, we'll take over. No, we don't have to restart. Alright, well, that's how civil wars work, and that's basically how you do ideologies. And, I'll show you, they have a whole site that shows you all these commands you can do for it, for effects and all that. So I'll pull that up right now. Alright, so where I am right now is like all the possible effects. This is Hoi4's wiki. I don't know if this is the official, I believe it is, but like these are what you can add to commands and events and all that, but you know, like you could do every Navy leader. I don't know why you would. I think it's more of a cheat command. And then tags, these are just like switching stuff. Capital scope, all that. Once you go far enough, you'll run into stuff like destroy, create, and eventually border wars and all that. Modify flag, that's another thing you could do. Set rule. It's not ruling party. This is ruling party. And it's basically how I did it. There's a little bit extra steps to it again, because yeah. Now one more I do want to do though is set capital. Oops, is set capital, because I want to try set capital. I don't know if it will work, but we'll see. So we're gonna do in here. We're gonna go and steal this area. So this is actually, that's in a civil war. Well, they're all in. Just 466. Alright, so we're going to grab another. This will be the final thing we're doing for our tutorial. And GFX icons, to change the icons is super easy. I mean, other than making them, if you want to change the icon, just go through other files that have icons and just set it to the ones you like. It's not that as difficult as people might think. So for completion on this, we're going to add state claim and add state claim 446, and we're gonna move the capital, set capital. Oh, you could. I didn't know you could do. I didn't know there's a. We'll grab this. So set capital and then remove old capital. Yes, because I don't want the old capital. So now, let me change this. Move this over to 7, and let's do dbg underscore capital. If I save it, it should set a core, but it thinks we're going to war still. Oh, that's because did I rename the wrong one? I just modified the wrong one. dbg underscore capital. So this one's capital because I moved this one on accident, but that's fine. So if I do this, it should set the capital and put a claim on this, which I don't have. There we go. So now I believe, oh, okay, it's down here. But, you know, 446, this is, I think this is 446 at least. 468, I might have, yeah. Same thing. I believe we have a core on this now. Oops. Can I click it so I could check? We should have a core. Yeah. So if I release Canada, retain all states of core. No, we don't have a core. But that's fine because it will set a core if you relog, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Now, we don't have a capital anymore. Now, we're gonna name these because they're just, if you look in the ideology, they're just underscores. We're gonna fix that now. So let's go do that. Alright, in your file, you're gonna need to go back to the main area, make a localization file. Once you make that, go to English, and we're gonna do the same thing on this. Localization, English, and in here we click F, so focus. I'm just gonna paste that in here. So now we have all this stuff, and it's a lot. Oops. So we're gonna go all the way to the bottom, and we're going to grab one of these. I'm not sure which one's the shortest, so we'll do, I don't know where it starts and where it ends, honestly. I can't tell. Actually, an easier way to do this is we're gonna go here. We're gonna rename this to your country's name focus, so DBG focus, or DBG underscore focus, I guess. Alright, and I'm gonna close this and reopen it. Then anything after 1 will keep this first one though. No, we'll delete it all. Anything after the English thing, delete, like this. And we're gonna go to our focus tree. So YouTube, common, national focus, Dinoberg. And in here we're gonna grab ID. So the first ID of your first focus. The 2 dots, 0, space, and then the quotations, political gang. This is just whatever you want to name it. So if I save that, I look back in, I have to reload it, I believe. What is the, reload focus? Is it reload national focus? Try reload focus. There we go. And it hasn't updated. So, basically, the explanation. Alright, so the reload focus thing didn't work. All you have to do is, if it doesn't reload focus, you just relaunch your game. So, it still works, you just need to relaunch your game if it does not update. Right, we're going to go back in this file, and we're going to do ideology now. And this is communist. I also put a space in these just so it looks better. And we're going to do become communist. Again, if you're making it national focus where you choose a side, it'll probably be more in depth. But I wonder if reload focus would work now. There we go. Become communist. So now we're going to go democratics. And if you hover over these, we're going to the description in a second. We're going to add democratic, and then we will. So you need 0, and then quotation, become democratic. Save that. Alright. Now for political gang, we're going to do dbg underscore politics underscore desk 0 test. Just because testing is always good. And now if I reload, should have test as a description, I believe. And as you can see, it says test right here because that's what this does. So we could do like, this gives you the most political voice. For example, it won't update until, oh, I guess it did update before I did it. This gives you the most political voice. And that's what you would do for these two and whatever else you're adding. And you don't need mutually exclude, as I said. You can just make lists that go on and on and on. That's how you make a basic focus tree. Now we're going to set the image for some of these. So we're going to go to Soviets because they have something nice. Actually, let's grab a country with neutral. So Finland, because I don't have the DLC out right now. Oh, never mind. I guess they have something. Oh god. Tibet, do you have something? Okay. So Tibet here, they don't have anything, so they have political effort. So we're gonna go to the main game, common, national focus, and then I'm gonna go general, generic, and this was political effort, so I'm just gonna search that. Find political efforts right here, and this is the GFX image of it. So I'm just gonna go paste that in my focus tree. So instead of consumer goods, it'll be this. And if it doesn't update again, you just type in reload and it'll update the image. Again, I'll go over how to make custom images later on since it's more complex. But most of the generic, there's a lot of generic images that are really good anyways. And if you don't have any DLCs, it's better because you don't even see them once. So that's about all. If you guys liked this video, please like and subscribe. I know it's a little longer than normal, but I appreciate all the support in my first video, and I hope this helps you. Goodbye.